This week, I don't even know where to start. There's been a bit of everything. Some madness from gigs, a couple of stories that generally caught me off guard, and one confession that stayed with me longer than I actually expected. We've got the classic British problems that will wind you up as well as me, a strange bit of history that involves and a chair, and just general chaos sprinkled all the way throughout. In today's weird news, you're just going to go, no way. Honestly, some people should not be left alone or in the community. Let's get straight into it. It's episode 215, Malesto. Sorry about that. You're probably wondering, what the friggin' hell? That was loud. That was a bit loud. Sorry about that. Yeah, my neighbours are back. Decided to start drilling as soon as I pressed record on here. They were playing music in the background. Reggae music. And I was going to apologise about the reggae music, but you're going to end up hearing reggae music and drilling. I'm really sorry about that. If you do hear me start singing for no random reason, it's probably because they're playing a song that I really like. Funny. It is another day, another dollar, as we always say. Talking about dollars, there is something that I wanted to bring up, and I'm going to bring it up now and tell you guys what's basically happened. A friend of mine, who is a comedian, he's been going for a few years now. We became friends a few years ago. I think it was just after lockdown, just as it was easing off and gigs were slowly starting to come back. We just got a bit pally, and then we ended up exchanging numbers and talking to each other. And now my friend almost calls me every day. Now, unfortunately, my friend wasn't feeling the best. Now, he's been struggling for a while. He's been trying to get on his feet, find a stable job, as well as doing his comedy. He's had a few mishaps in life, and it's just been a lot of bad luck. Now, my friend currently is in hospital at the moment. He's not very well. He's been diagnosed with liver failure, kidney failure, and he's in an induced coma at the moment. He's got tubes and everything all over him. We've been trying to raise some money because the fact he's like that is because he's been living in his car for months and he didn't tell nobody. He did get food poisoning. I spoke to him about 3 weeks ago and he was saying to me that he went somewhere to get food. He was actually telling me about this place. He said, have you ever had Kurdish food? And I went, no, I never had Kurdish food. And he went, it's really nice. It's cheap as well. You can get like chicken and rice and you get like a soup and bread. And he says it's like £5 to £6, which isn't a lot of money for a meal, for a full-on meal like that. And he was just telling me about it. So he told me that he's been really ill. This was a couple of weeks after about this Kurdish restaurant. And I was like, okay, what's happened? And he said, I've got food poisoning. I think I've got it from that Kurdish restaurant. I couldn't stop laughing. I go, mate, he was proper recommending it. He's going, it's bang on. It's nice. But they always give me funny looks because they're thinking, what's a black man doing in a Kurdish restaurant? But he likes food because he's a chef as well. He's been a chef for many years. Unfortunately, I thought he was ill because of the food poisoning. So I spoke to him about a week ago. I was like, you all right, mate? He said, yeah, I still feel rough. I'm trying to get over this food poisoning. And he sounded really bad. And I said to him, do you know what? I'll put the phone down. I'll just rest up, man. Don't worry. Don't answer any calls. Just take some few days off and we'll speak then. And then on a Sunday, a friend of mine, a very close friend named Doug Carter, who also runs comedy nights, he said, that have you heard about Griff? And I was like, no, what's happened? He said, oh, he's in hospital. I was like, really? What the hell's it? He said, yeah, he's really bad, mate. I couldn't believe it. So I went down to see him anyway. And as I said, he's in a coma. He's got tubes all over him. We're hoping and we're praying that he gets back on his feet. Obviously, you know, nobody wants to see somebody go, do we? And I mean, he's still young. He's a year younger than me. So he's very young. I feel really sorry for him. We have started a GoFundMe page for my friend. And we're trying to raise money for him. So when he gets out, when he gets back on his feet, he'll have somewhere to stay. He'll have his bills paid for a few months. And yeah, but we're not going to give him the money. We're going to pay the bills. We're going to pay for his rent. And hopefully, you know, he's got somewhere to stay. Because, I forgot to tell you this bit, he's been living in his car for months. And we didn't know this. And he confessed to me when I last spoke to him last. He said, mate, I've been living in my car. And I was like, what? I thought you was like in a temporary accommodation. He said, no, I wasn't. I've been in my car. And I couldn't believe it. So during the winter months, he's been sleeping in his car, which gave him blood clots. And, you know, fortunately, he's not well. So I wanted to mention that. I don't usually do things like that, but that's a friend of mine and he's in need. The good news is, guys, the GoFundMe page, we had a target of £4,000 and we have hit that target, which is great. We're very happy. I'm very pleased that people have donated. The comedy community, strangers, people just outside, just good people have been donating, and we really, really appreciate that from the bottom of our heart. And I'm sure when Griff wakes up and he finds out what you lot have done for him, he's going to be over the moon. Now, the GoFundMe page is still open. We've left it open, so if people still want to donate, you can, but don't feel like the need, you have to. But if you want to, you can give whatever you want. We don't mind. You can remain anonymous. It's absolutely cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag that in the description of the podcast as well. There will be a link to the GoFundMe page. If you are unable to access that, then make sure you follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and you'll see my posts about fundraiser so you can donate that way. But as I said, don't feel like you have to. Do not feel like you have to. But I thought I'd mention it, you know, because like I said, he is a really good mate of mine. And I hope he gets better. Yesterday, I was at a gig in... where was I? I was in... I forgot now. I was in Warrington. That's what I was. Warrington, and you're not going to believe what happened to me. Well, I was outside, and I haven't been on stage yet, and this bloke said to me, he said, all right, mate, are you on tonight? I said, yeah. He went, I've seen Bernard Manning here 20 years ago. I went, right, no pressure then. If you're from the UK, you know who Bernard Manning is. Those of you who are outside the UK, and I know there's loads of you who do listen to this podcast from all over the world, I will tell you who Bernard Manning was. He was a hugely famous and controversial British stand-up comedian. He was best known for working in working men's style clubs. He had his own venue called the Embassy in Manchester. Now, he's a bit of an old-school comedian. There's no filter, crowd work. He's very much rooted in the club circuit, especially up north. He's well famous up north. He's known, actually, for telling blunt and offensive jokes. He loves roasting an audience, and if you're on the front row, you got no chance with him. He has done a bit of TV. He became a household name in the 1970s and 80s. He appeared on TV shows like The Comedians, and he had a dedicated fan base that just loved him. I mean, his material, as I said, it is considered to be very controversial, especially today. half of the material, I'll probably say 80% of the material, he wouldn't get away with it now. Gen Z would have banned him by now, I'm telling you. That's how offensive I've watched Bernard Manning, or watched his videos, and I must admit, he was a great joke writer. Yes, he did push out the boat because he would say, he would mention certain races and he would meant stereotypical jokes, basically. But back then, there were people that thought like that, so I totally get it. So that was Bernard Manning. So if you know what I'm talking about, he's one of those comedians you'd cancel. So someone telling me that they saw them 20 years ago in the same venue, I mean, what how are you supposed to respond to that? Because obviously I'm Asian, innit? So I'm like, okay. Oh, God. That's like saying, I saw Donald Trump here 20 years ago in Iran. You know what I mean? It's like that. You know me, I don't like to talk about politics at all. I don't. It's not my thing. Do you know what I mean? Oh, God, that's hilarious. I think that's funny as hell, man. Now, if that wasn't scary enough, how about we do something even more scary? Paranormal! It's paranormal with a happy tune. It's paranormal with a happy tune. I am absolutely crazy. Paranormal from Reddit. Someone called Liv Rosie. Oh, what's happened to you, man? What's happened, or what kind of paranormal experiences have you had? You didn't see the ghost of Bernard Manning, did you? Let's have a look. Liv Rose is saying, I've never posted on here, so please bear with me if my storytelling is not the best. Right, I'm glad you've said that. I will read it slowly so everyone else can figure out what is going on in your world. My parents sold my childhood home 3 years ago and moved into a house which was built by a couple in the late 60s. The couple that built the house are the only tenants who have ever owned the house. Got ya. So the parents sold a house and the people that lived there were the tenants and now they own it. So the woman had died sometime in the 2010s, I believe. So 2010-ish. And her husband died in 2023. And the house was sold to my parents in late 2023. So basically, your parents had a house that you grew up in. They sold it to somebody. Those people were renting it, I think. I think she's saying, right, they rented it, they bought the house, the old lady died, and then her husband died, and then your parents bought the house back. I think that's what she's trying to say. This is just about the only knowledge we have of the previous tenants. And the house was like a 70s time capsule. My parents, being fans of home flipping, decided to renovate and update the entire thing. The house looks beautiful now, but still holds the old character of its original, which we love. Before we moved in, we had brought our dog over a few times. She's a very smart dog and scared of absolutely nothing. I mean, this dog would gleefully watch fireworks on the 4th of July. Now that is a dog who is not afraid of anything. If a dog is not afraid of fireworks, you've got to keep her. Anyways, I was walking through the property with my brother and my dog had gotten to tour it yet. There is a finished basement with an unfinished storage room with a very old bathroom. I've never seen my dog so scared. She would bark and cry down there and wait on the stairs for us to come up. She did the same with the old shed in the back of the garden. I mostly brushed that off as being goofy, as she tends to be sometimes. But then other things started happening. I was in school, so I spent a lot of my time at my desk, which was situated in the corner of my bedroom. Countless times I have smelt a stale, floral perfume coming through like a draft and then it would disappear. It's not a perfume my mum would use, or nor is it similar to any of ours, as we both aren't fans of floral scents. I've always felt a sense of comfort when it comes through, though. It's never been a scary feeling. Right, so your dog is not a scary dog, but when he was in the basement, she couldn't handle it. And sometimes you smell floral perfume. Today, my mum and I were talking with one of our friends who's interested in paranormal stories, like mine. My mum is not a believer in any of this stuff, so she mostly just listening to us talk. However, I'm not sure how it came up, but my mum started talking about how one night she woke up and there was a woman with short white hair sitting at the edge of the bed, holding a very small white dog. For some reason, it didn't even freak my mum out, which makes me think the old woman gave her the sense of comfort I felt with the perfume. The next day, my mum told my dad about what she saw, and they looked up the obituaries of the couple. They have never seen any photos of them, but knew their last name. The first picture my dad pulled up was the same old lady holding the same white dog that my mum had seen. My dad still doesn't believe my mum, didn't really dig much into it, but it makes me wonder a lot about why the old woman still makes herself known. Or is it just residual energy? Please let me know your thoughts. I know this was a long read and probably not super interesting, but I wanted to make sure I included all the details. First of all, thank you, Liv Rosie, for the story. I think your story is fine, the way you've explained it, and I totally understand. Now, I watch a lot of paranormal stuff on TV, so this is quite common. This is like sometimes you get a scent of a certain person, or the fact that your mum didn't feel uncomfortable, neither did you, is a plus sign, I suppose. Maybe they really loved that place and they just didn't want to leave. I don't know. It's a strange one. There is more to Liv Rosie. Also, I will not be posting the picture my parents found of the woman holding the dog, as it's not my place, and the couple have living children and grandchildren. It would feel really wrong of me to post photos of their loved ones without consent. Fair play to you, Liv Rosie. Absolutely spot on. Now, you keep it private. We don't need to know what the old woman looks like. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you could tell the kids. If she's got kids, it's a hard one, isn't it? It's a tricky one. Because they'll be like, this woman's crazy, man. Do you know what I mean? They'll be like, is she serious, man? Is she like, and would you want to, I don't know. It's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. But I appreciate the story. I'm glad you don't feel, as I said, any negative energy. I would see that as nice. Maybe you can talk to them. I've watched paranormal stuff where people talk to them and go, hello. So you can try and communicate with them and go, are you happy here? Or maybe they don't like the new change. Or maybe they do. I don't know, because your mum and dad have renovated it now. It's a fascinating story, though. Very fascinating. Thank you so much for that. The music is still going on in the background. They've moved to banger music from reggae music. You definitely may hear me singing. Talking about singing, let's do No Stupid Questions. No stupid questions, no stupid. What's so stupid about this question? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's been put up by somebody called Elk Disastrous. I think that's how you pronounce their username. Why do women have two breasts? If humans usually give birth to only one baby at a time, wouldn't just the one be enough? Oh my God. What kind of weird question is that? Why have women got two breasts? If you've only got one baby, you don't need two breasts, do you? What if one of the breasts runs out of milk and then you got to switch over? Is that the reason? My question is, why do men have breasts if we don't breastfeed? That's what I want to know. My son asked me that as well. I said, Dad, why have men got breasts? And I was like, I didn't know how to answer him. He was young at the time. I think he was about 10 years old. He says I don't get it. Elk Disastrous is saying animals like cats or dogs have multiple breasts to feed several babies at once, but humans usually only have the one. So why do women have two? Shouldn't one be sufficient? Oh, that's hilarious. Now, I've thought of it being the I can't even say the word. Symmetry. The symmetry word. Symmetrical. That's what I thought. You have two of each, innit? It's the reason why you got two kidneys, two lungs, your two eyes. Imagine we all had one eye. It's all to do with evolution. That's what I reckon it is. So maybe if women had one, they would always be like linked to one side, wouldn't they? Because one side would be heavier than the other one. So maybe that's why they need two. I don't really know, but it is funny as hell. What if you end up with twins? Then you're going to need two. If we only had one, then I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's a great question, though. That's what makes me laugh about it. Well, that's my answer. We have two because it's symmetrical, basically. That's why. Imagine if men only had one testicle. One giant testicle. It will look proper weird, won't it? Oh, mate. Oh, this is funny as hell. I'm glad I've done it. Talking about funny, I just want to end the podcast now. That's what I want to do because this music in the background is absolutely doing me head in. So let's do, you know what it is. It is a British problem. British problems. We've got so many problems in England. We don't know what to do. I think this is my favourite theme tune as well. I freaking love it. Freaking love it. British problems, mate. We got loads. Let's see what today's one is. This one has been put up by somebody called Bramish. Are you Brumish or Bramish? What a name. Bramish. What is it, mate? He said my wheelie bin didn't get emptied. Oh, no. That's a massive British problem, that is. When your bin doesn't get emptied. Why? Because of a lazy dog owner, eh? What's all this about? I'm going to take a guess before you even write your post. Someone took their dog for a walk. They done a number 2 outside your house probably. And then they picked up the poo and put it in your bin. And the bin man looked in your bin, because that's what bin men do now. They open the bin lid to look inside to see if there's anything in there that they can't take. And if there is, say like, I don't know, a metal bin, for instance, or razor blades. If there's just razor, they'll be like, no, it's not bagged up properly. They won't take it. It's happened to me a few times. So let's see what happened to Bramish. He went on holiday for a week. Oh, lovely. Where did you go, mate? Left my recycling bin out for its collection on a Thursday. Mine's on a Thursday. He hooked the lid, closed with the bungee cord to stop it blowing open, because I'm a considerate person. Well done, mate. He returned back on the Friday to find the bungee cord gone and the bin was still full. So he phoned the council to complain, and they told me it contained pet waste. I don't have any pets. He checked the bin, and sure enough, some idiot had left a bag of doggo in there. See, I knew it. Knew it. I was told I need to remove it, but my bin would be collected until the next date in 2 weeks. We are a family of 5. Are you from Birmingham? I've got a feeling he's from Birmingham. Did someone unhook the cord, put their dog poo in there, and then hook it back up? Or did the bin men pinch my bungee? Or did someone swap my cord for their dog poo? Either way, he's very cross. Oh no! That is a massive dilemma. Oh God, that's huge, isn't it? That's proper huge, man. Oh, I got a feeling what's happened, yeah. The dog owner has put it in there. He didn't just go in there mysteriously, right? He took off your bungee. I think your bungee was what made him do it. He must have looked at that and went, that's a nice bin, that is. Took the thing off, the cord, put the dog crap in there, put the lid back on, and sealed it back up. And then the bin men must have opened it and opened the bin and went, you're taking the mick, mate. And then closed the lid. They must have thought, oh, this is a very considerate bin owner, like you said you are. Someone who ties up their bin lid because of the wind. We had very strong winds a few days ago in England. So, fair play to you, mate. But, oh, well. Yeah, but you need to stick a camera on. If you listen to one of my other episodes, I'm in a WhatsApp group for a street I don't live on. And there was a woman who got this guy on CCTV and their dog done a number 2 outside their house. And she posted the video in the group. And then she turned into Liam Nelson and went, I know who you are. I will find you. Oh, God, that's hilarious, isn't it, mate? Sorry about that. I hope you find the suspect. It's always a mystery, isn't it? Who remembers years ago when this woman, she got a cat in England. This was in England. She got a cat and she put the cat in the bin. The cat was alive. She literally picked up the cat from its head and chucked it in the bin. Do you remember that? That video went viral. This is before TikTok and everything. I think it was on YouTube and then it appeared on the news, in the newspapers. That was massive, man. She got so much backlash from the back of it. I mean, I can understand why, but it's a good thing you didn't find an actual dog in there, isn't it? I was going to tell you a fact, right? I was going to do that before we do the weird news story. So let's do what the... Yeah, what the... We're going to do another historical fact. And that is, today I learned that the head executioner of New York State was euphemistically called the state electrician, which is in reference to the electrical chair. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, New York introduced execution by an electrical chair at the Sing Sing prison. Instead of calling it the executioner, something, well, grim, they used the title state electrician. He was the person responsible for operating the electrical chair, including maintaining it and carrying out the executions. It was basically a euphemism. It was a softer, more technical sounding title to make the role seem less brutal, basically. Sanitation engineer instead of a bin man. State electrician instead of, that guy who wants to do you over. So the electric chair became New York's primary execution in 1890, and one of the very first executions was William Kemmler. The chair itself was nicknamed Old Sparky. Ah, so is that where we get the phrase Old Sparky from? From an electric chair? That is crazy, isn't it? There you go. We learnt something new today. Let's finish the podcast now with a weird news story. Straight from the USA, a Californian man gets 6 years in prison after breaking in to a woman's house and sucking her toes. Another toe sucker. Christian Solorio, a 28-year-old, happy birthday, from Malesto, or shall we say, Malesto. Way, there we go, there's a joke. Harassed the woman for weeks, until the night he broke into her house, according to prosecutors. So he's been sentenced to 6 years in prison for breaking into a residence with the intent to commit a sexual act. The Stanislaus County District Attorney's Office announced on Facebook. Solorio first saw the unnamed woman at a workplace in February and immediately became obsessed, said the DA's office. He would show up at her job multiple times, loitering outside as he waited to approach her when she left. According to the prosecutors, Solorio asked the woman out multiple times and he sent her a letter in which he said he wanted to take her to Mexico. He harassed the woman for several weeks and learned where she lived, according to prosecutors. On the night of May the 21st, 2025, he went to her house, and after her father left the house, he broke in, according to the DA office. The woman woke up to find Solorio in her bedroom, sucking her toes. What a crazy person. Although terrified, the victim managed to talk with Solorio in a friendly demeanour in an attempt to keep him calm and de-escalate his actions, said the DA. After the woman, other family members came into her room. They demanded Solorio to leave, and then he fled, according to prosecutors. The woman reported the incident to the local sheriff's office, which later identified Solorio and arrested him. Stanislaus County Deputy District Attorney Vita Palazolios told the Independent that Solorio was ID located and arrested within hours. They didn't mess around. They found him. They knew who he was. The victim was incredibly brave and did all the right things to get him to leave her house. Solorio had admitted to breaking into the home to approach the woman, according to prosecutors, but he pleaded no contest to stalking and breaking into a residence with the intent to commit a sexual act. When a defendant pleads no contest, they do not admit guilt, but also do not consent to the charges against them. This is according to California-based attorneys. Solorio was given the maximum sentence of 6 years and 8 months. A toe sucker. What a toe! He'll be sucking toes now in prison. I'm telling you that now. I don't even know what to say about that. But what I do know what to say is, guys, remember, the GoFundMe page is still open. You don't have to donate, but if you want to, we would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Ta-da!